Do you want to dominate as white and take the black queen early in the board as much as move 4? Or do you want to have so many traps that can overwhelm your opponent? And this video, folks, I'm gonna teach you all of those things with this opening. And so, folks, starts with knight to f3. Because all of the times, we go e4 or d4. But now, folks, we're gonna go knight to f3. Why are we gonna go there? Because we are prevent black pawn to go e5. And they are more likely to go for the Scandinavian defense with pawn to d5. After they go pawn to d5, we are ready to gambit the e4 pawn. This is a mistake to take the free pawn because a lot of times when they take the free pawn, there are a lot of hidden traps in here. Folks, we are gonna go knight to g5, attacking the pawn on f7. We are not trying to win back the pawn for the fact that you are going to be more aggressive than your opponent and try to win so many lines in this position. Knight to f6 is the most popular. And so if they go knight to f6, just developing a natural move, we're gonna go pawn to d3. And that is a very powerful move. Again, a pawn. Because if they take the pawn, they would go away from the threat of our knight. And so we're gonna take back that free pawn. And not only that, we undouble their pawn. So they got so many motifs to take that pawn on d3. And they are already losing on development already. This is what makes this gambit very aggressive. You're already lead in development position. Some people go h6. Which is in itself a very dumb move. Because after pawn to h6, well then folks, we can go knight to f7. And so if they take our free knight, that is a sacrifice. Because after that, we're gonna sacrifice another piece, which is the bishop on g6. And now we're checking them. It doesn't matter where the king goes. If they take the bishop on g6, they have noticed that this is an open line. We're just gonna take the free queen. What if they go here or here? The same thing. We're just gonna take the queen again on d8. You're already going to castle in the next couple of moves. Meanwhile, black is falling behind in development. And so this is what makes it very aggressive. We are already attacking the king side while they are just losing in development and all of their pieces are on the back rank. What if in this position, bishop to f5 happens, trying to protect the pawn with another piece, not with the knight this time. We're gonna attack with the knight, not with the pawn this time. And so that is attacking the pawn twice on e4. So they must defend it in order to protect that pawn again. And so we're gonna go queen to e2. That is adding another attacker to the pawn on e4. Now there are 3 attackers on pawn to e4. So if they go with the queen and defend the pawn on e4, which a lot of people mostly do, we will go. This is a very, very bad mistake. You don't do this. Because of the fact that we can just go queen to b5, triple forking these pieces. And so, folks, that attacks the bishop, that attacks the king in check. And also, we're attacking the pawn on b7, potentially winning the rook on a8. And so, folks, when that happens, they are very pressured that they need to go here. Trying to cover up with the bishop so that they don't blunder the bishop while also covering the check. And so if we take the pawn on b7, they may think they could just go here and try to defend the rook on a8 and also attack the queen. But they're wrong. Because after bishop to b5, a beautiful, beautiful move, you cannot take the queen because your bishop is pinned to the king. If they go here, unpinning their bishop, of course, trying to defend their bishop, well then folks, we're just gonna trade the bishop. Because after they take the bishop, you have noticed that this was checkmate. And so we're gonna go there and have them mate in 10. That is very, very impressive. Let's go to the other lines. What if not bishop to f5 happens this time? What if they defend it with a queen, defending with a queen on e4 with the pawn there, with a queen there on d5, attacking your knight, while also defending multi-purpose move, we're just gonna go pawn to d3. If they go knight to f6, trying to ignore that move, they will fall behind in development and will likely attack the queen with tempo. They see that that will happen, and so they will just take the pawn on d3. And so, a lot of times here, we're just gonna take with the bishop on d3. The same position as a while ago, but this time with a queen here. And they're really, really falling behind in development with a queen at the center. And a lot of times, that queen gets left behind in the center. In this position, a lot of people go queen to g2. Seeing that they can see a free pawn and attack the free rook on h1. But folks, there's again a mistake here. We're just gonna go bishop to e4. Attacking the queen, defending the rook, attacking the pawn on b7. And so, as you can see, that is a fork and a multi-purpose to attack the queen. They will just go g4, the last free square they can go to, because clearly that is the only square they can go to that cannot be trapped. And so, if that happens, we'll trade the queen. They will take back our queen. And so, what will happen is that they will trap their own rook. So folks, I have teach you 3 lines already, and somehow it traps the rook, takes the queen, and also checkmates. There is no doubt that you can play this opening. And so folks, let's go to the other lines. What if not those 3 happen, but instead f5, defending with a pawn on e4, and we're gonna go bishop to c4, developing another piece to attack the square on f7. And if that happens, they may just defend this to avoid the fork. But folks, we will just go pawn to d3, attacking the pawn on a4. And so if they take back the pawn on d3, trying to undouble their pawns, and which is they have another motive for that, which we will actually not take back the pawn. The purpose of a gambit is to be aggressive, so we will just castle and involve the rook in the game, which will be useful. But folks, they will just take another free pawn. And so folks, why is that a mistake for them? We're just gonna take the pawn on c2, and when that happens, we will likely crush black here with 0.8 advantage according to the computer. I mean, look at the rook. It's open, plus look at the queen attacking. There are so many threats in this position, by the way, not to mention. Black side is very passive. I mean, look at this knight. This is why this opening is very useful in your games. Very aggressive, makes your opponent passive, while also having so many traps. I recommend you to try this opening. With a move a while ago I just taught you about. But there's another line. Knight to c3, attacking the pawn yet again with on e4, but this time now with a pawn. In this line, folks, it is very powerful because after knight to c3 attacking the pawn, they will likely defend it with a bishop. We will go bishop to c4 and develop another piece into the game, attacking yet again this pawn on f7. And if they go and try to defend it with pawn to e6, well then folks, we'll go pawn to f3, trying to challenge the pawn on e4. Why wouldn't they take this? Of course, they will take it because it undoubles their own pawn, plus another free pawn. And so if they take it, we will take back with the queen on f3, attacking this bishop. And once you will notice here, there's an insane tactic, because after they go h6, being annoyed by this knight, we will go knight to f7, and it's a very tactical error. And not only that, it's a fork, so they have to take with a king, right? But except that if they take, there's one free piece in the board. This is a free piece, because you realize that when they take, this is pinned. So folks, they cannot do that. Instead, they might do something else, trying to be smart over it. Second most popular move in the database shows that c6 happens. And so if that happens, execute the same line. And we will just go and take the free bishop yet again on f5. Most commonly and more familiar enough, they will most likely go queen to d6. A lot of people go there according to the chess database or the chess.com database. Why? I don't know. And if that happens, we will just take the advantage of this. Knight to a4. That is a fork of a queen and a fork to the king check. And not only that, fork to the king check and also to the pawn on e6. So folks, I think that all was useful stuff according to the Tennison Gambit. And this is one of the most aggressive gambits out there. Let me hear if you want a part 2 video to this. I think I covered all the lines. It is very aggressive, and I recommend you to try it with the blitz and bullet, because of the fact that a lot of people actually fall for this. If you enjoyed the video, please go there and press the like button. But if you don't like the video, go there and dislike the video. You have the choice. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.